there, welcome to another very interesting episode of the pod. You're just sitting in your home, in the comfort of your home, and you're watching the TV and you see a fashion show going on. So somebody is on the runway strutting their stuff, or somewhere in a museum, somewhere in a space, people are having art exhibitions, or there's a cultural display. Think about Ojude Oba and the likes of all of that. Yes, the people that make that happen, those are the people that bring it to your view. Social media, the TV, maybe prints. Those are the people that we are about to talk about. And we're just about to talk about their role, in the advancement of the African culture, fashion, as well as art. So we're going to be talking about media, what the media has done in this particular sector. So you see that there's no way that the conversation is not going to be interesting, right? And like always, I don't ever do this alone. I have a guest here. I'm sure you can already see her. Words fail me, right, to describe her, because there's nothing I'm going to say right now that you cannot already see for yourself. She's beautiful. She's talented. She's very, on this pod, we don't bring anyhow people. We bring people that know their onions. So she's going to be talking about it. She's a culture journalist, and I'm sure that she will get into that to let you know what actually culture journalism is all about. I hear also that she's into pageantry. This, I don't know. I'm going to allow her diffuse all of that to you. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the very beautiful, delectable culture journalist, Itoro. And see, I'm not very good with names. So when she's introducing herself, I'll let her pronounce her surname. I don't want to spoil it. But ladies and gentlemen, Itoro, welcome to the pod, Itoro.
Thank you very much, Elizabeth.
See, on this pod, I like to get people to talk about themselves. You will get to blow your horns for yourself. But first, I'm going to do a little bit of tweak to that.
Okay.
The first thing I'm going to talk about with you is culture journalism. Like when you say, I'm sure it's alien to a lot of people. So first and foremost, tell us what culture journalism is and what it takes to be a culture journalist.
Thank you very much, Elizabeth. My name is Itoro Etukudo.
Yes,
I am
so what she said.
State. So about culture journalism. Culture journalism is basically using the media to explain what a certain region believe in, from the way they dress to the food they eat to how they relate with people, because culture goes beyond just food, dressing, greetings, which we were taught.
Was it culture they say that is a way of life?
It is, when we think about it being a way of life, we don't understand that it goes beyond just what we see or what we think of. There is more to it. So I am very interested in people's culture. I'm very interested. I want to know why people act, a certain group of people act the way they do. And I want to bring this to life. Talk about it. Let people know that, if you're visiting this place, this is what you should look out for. And that's just it. That's just culture journalism.
Okay, very interesting. So now, we are now getting back to who Itoro is and why journalism, why culture journalism?
As I mentioned earlier, culture journalism, because I love to learn about people, why they do things, how they do things. I am not much of the kind of person that wants to try out different food, but I'm also interested in knowing the kind of food you eat and why you eat that food.
Okay.
I'm very interested in why you dress this way. I am very interested in why you like to shout. People don't know that it's a culture thing. I once pointed out something one time, that why is it that Nigerians always drag things? Don't go there. Go there. Don't go there.
Oh, okay.
But no, you're like,
We always have
Go
to
there.
stress and emphasize.
exactly. It's a culture thing.
Hmm.
It is.
I agree.
Yeah. So that is why
I
am very
agree.
interested in
Now
all of
thinking
these
about
things.
it, I think I saw a video on TikTok. They were like a biracial couple,
Mm-hmm.
and the guy was trying to mimic his wife. Says, "You know this? Of course, I'm married to a Nigerian
Yes,
woman." And
okay.
he laid there was so much emphasis on everything he was saying, how his wife would say the O's and the A's and all of this things. So I think I kind of picture what you're saying right now.
Yes, and how we say things to like I just did it.
Yes. Yes.
No. Why don't yes. Yes. But
Okay.
it's a culture thing.
Yes.
And why journalism? So I actually wanted to be a lawyer. In fact, I never in this life pictured myself to be a journalist, a presenter, nothing like that. I always wanted to be a lawyer. But I am very grateful that I am doing what I am doing right now. I'm very grateful to be a broadcast journalist, and I'm very grateful for this transition in my life. So I got to study communication arts in school, and I didn't even like it at first. I was not even interested. I barely attended classes in my 200 level. Not until my
So you
300
always wanted to study law? But I guess
my friends,
the Nigerian university thing, you didn't get law.
Exactly.
Okay.
My two best friends are lawyers.
Okay.
So just imagine they are lawyers and I'm the only journalist there. But I actually like it now. And it was not until my 300 level when we were sent for our internship. It was just a 3-month internship, and I went to a radio station, and something happened during that period. So I got a role at a newspaper house. This newspaper house was going to pay me, but it was close, and it was also closer to my house.
Okay.
And the same week, I also got a role at this radio station. Radio station is not going to pay me, and I'm going to be spending like ×3 of what I'll be spending to the newspaper house, to the radio station there. But I went to the radio station, and that single action changed my life for good.
I mean, broadcast has, no shades to the print guys, no shade to you guys, but
I am also
broadcast, no shades to you guys, right? But broadcast has this life and
It has this
personality
vibe, and
that gives.
that's just it.
Yes.
And another funny thing, when I went there, so the internship was to last for 12 weeks. So we were divided. Newsroom before the presentation, 6 weeks in the newsroom, 6 weeks in presentation. I was in the newsroom at first. I didn't do anything. I was just, once I come there, they'll say, you have to source for news. They gave us source for entertainment news, weather updates, just simple things as for university students. And I'll just come, I'll make sure I do my part, because I don't want drama. I don't like drama. I'll do whatever they tell me to do, I will do it. And once I'm done, I'm just relaxing. I didn't even push myself. I didn't even know where the live studio was. Until one day, one lady just said, "You, this girl, to come here. Every other person has done something, only you. Go to the recording studio, you record today." And I was like, what is this woman doing? What's going on here? Oh, yeah, I didn't know to go and talk. If they don't like it, they'll tell me to go. And I carried my scripts. I was the one that wrote that script.
Okay.
And I said, as soon as I entered the recording studio, I voiced and said, "Oh, this voicing is going out this evening." It never happened to any other person in my set. If you voice the first time, they'll tell you, "Oh, you need to work on this, you need to do that, come back." But that's very day, and that was the day they said, "Itoro, you're not hiding yourself again. Come out and always voice." And
So that was like the moment you knew that, okay.
So that was when I started. Okay, I got interested in it, and now at some point, I now started liking or loving broadcasting. I didn't even like writing, so I preferred broadcasting more. And then what I did was I did personal researches a lot. I started reading. I started looking out for different presenters. I know I wanted to sound like on air. I didn't like how I sounded. I don't listen to myself because I didn't like how I sounded.
Okay.
Which was actually beautiful. Maybe that's what people said. And I'm still learning so many things, how to present, how to do this, how to do that and stuff. And that's part of the things that brought me. And then for journalism, I was staying in Akwa Ibom State. So I moved from Akwa Ibom to Abuja. I got an internship role at a media organization here in Abuja. And it was, of course, journalism. And I could remember my editor telling me, you this girl, broadcasting and journalism, they are two different things.
Actually.
And I was like, I can't do it. She said, no, you write, you do more research, you're not just talking. And I said, I can do it. She said, are you sure? I said, yes, ma, I can do it. I didn't know that the question she was asking me, she knew why she was asking me that question.
Of course. I think that it's more serious in print.
Yes. So for somebody that never liked, remember I said I never liked writing?
Writing.
For someone that never liked writing, now I have to write to pay my bills. Because if I don't write, no money.
You can easily have it easy in broadcasts where maybe for what you're going to present, there's someone that's already written your script.
Exactly.
But for print, you have to do the work.
And you're not just writing, you will do research. You will, hey God. And that was gradually, it took time, but I eventually loved it. And I am very grateful, even not for any other thing, I am very grateful that I was given that opportunity. One thing, I always tell people that one thing, if there's anything I'm grateful for also, is also working at this particular media house, because I realized many things that I am doing now, the things that are very beneficial to me now. If I didn't work there, probably I wouldn't have known all of these things. Yes, and that is even what made me think of going into culture journalism.
Okay, so that's very interesting. I mean, that's very interesting. So, this has been when was this time that you were on internship? I mean, when you were in the university, from that time, we would say that was when having interest in broadcasting and journalism, in the media generally. Yes. So for how long would you say you have worked in that space?
Almost 6 years now.
Wow, that's a long time. So you know why I asked that? So that for free, you will know that whatsoever she's saying, she knows what she's saying. That's why I decided to ask her that question. Now, the culture, journalism aspect of media, what's your perception of that particular segment of the industry?
I would say it is underreported.
Okay.
And sometimes we leave our job for other people that are not in our field to do it, which in most cases they don't even do it well.
Okay, so sorry, when you say other people not in the field, for example, who are these people we're talking about? I'm just saying, for instance, we're not mentioning names. Yeah? Say maybe we leave our jobs for photographers or videographers, or maybe for content creators. No shades to all these people, but that's not their role professionally. So that's what I mean. Like, who are these people that we're leaving our jobs to?
Sometimes I think there are times we even leave our jobs to, just as you mentioned, photographers. Some will tell you, I'm a visual photographer, and then...
Because they tell stories.
Yes. And I mean, the story is there, but they've captured the moment, everything, you're seeing it, but there's nobody to pick out other things to explain to you. That is where a journalist comes in. And also, we also leave our roles for content creators that pose as fashion critics. Let me talk about fashion now, that pose as fashion critics. Come and tell you, they want to talk about, maybe we have, like, for example, the AMVCA now. We see a lot of people wear so many African prints, African designs, and then you just see a content creator that is a fashion critic. And say, this one is a 10-10. This one is what made it 10?
Okay.
Oh, this person is, I'm wearing, who are you wearing? Not even what are you wearing. The question they ask, who are you wearing? And they move on to mention a very big fashion designer. Oh, really? What is the story behind the clothes you're wearing? Which parts of Nigeria wears that clothes? Or which part of Africa wears that clothes? What is peculiar about that part and then the clothes? Tell us, these are things that people are really interested in.
Of course.
They will not know until you start telling it. So I think it is just underreported. We don't do our work enough. And we're just okay with just following trends. And there's something my editor, so I'm mentioning my editor.
No, that's fine.
She really, really molded me in a way. But she will tell me, Itoro, you don't follow trends. Go deeper, do your research. There are many things, for God's sake. Media, we don't only entertain, we educate, we inform.
Yes.
So are you educating anybody? or you're just entertaining them, don't follow trends. There is more to do. So that's one problem we are facing.
Okay, I like it when you put it like that. So having worked in this space for like 6 years now, what would you say has been your involvement in improving this particular sector?
I am a pageants girl, and one of the things that even piqued my interest in culture journalism is pageantry, as funny as it might sound. Because people think pageantry is just about wearing a crown, sash, and moving up and down. There is more to it because we get to learn many things. We get to learn about ourselves. We get to learn about our people, where we come from. Because you will not just represent a particular state and you can't say anything about that state. Do you get? So that is actually what piques my interest.
Yes.
And then as a journalist, the role I've played was when I was my previous place of work. Yeah, when I was there, my editor would tell me, Itoro, are there no events for you to go? Because I was an entertainment journalist at the time. Itoro, are there no events for you to go and just cover? Come on, we want real things. And I would just sit there and be like, I just came to Abuja, God. Where do these people want me to get this thing from? And I didn't know I was the problem at the time.
Okay.
So I said I was going to look out for events that I could actually just needed to do something. So I needed something that would also interest me. I don't want to go there and be bored. And one of the days I was just scrolling through Instagram, I saw African Bridal Fashion Show, Fashion Week. I said,
in case you don't know, guys, she's talking about us. She's talking about us.
And when I saw it, I said, okay, I'm a model. I like it. And there's only one way I can come here for free is if I report this thing. And I checked, they were like, you need to register. I registered as a journalist. So before I registered, I immediately sent email because before you do anything, you have to report first to my editor. I sent email to my editor. I told her about it and she was like, okay, it's a very beautiful thing. You can go. But I was still an intern then, so she assigned someone to me. She assigned someone to go with me and I went there. And the person was telling me, okay, this is what you're going to capture. This is what you're going to do. This is what you're going to talk about. You find the host and stuff. And I did all of those things. But as at then, I still didn't understand what was going on. I just thought maybe I was just reporting a fashion show and I was having my own fun and also doing my work at the same time. But after a while, I looked deeply into it and I realized that there is actually more to talk about on this. For God's sake, this is a branch of fashion, bridal fashion. And not just any bridal fashion, African bridal fashion. Because we saw different African prints, we saw different Nigerian prints, we saw different, even Ghana prints. I could remember, even Ghana prints, and I'm like, why do these people wear this clothes? So after everything, I started thinking about it. Why do they wear this clothes? And if you're, as a pageant girl, every outfit you wear, you should be able to tell the story behind it. Especially if you're wearing your traditional outfit. And that was actually what made me to think, okay, so we don't just do things. There is a reason behind everything we do. What is the reason behind this? That's what will even make people more interested in it. That's what will make people want to look into it more. And if we have more of this, instead of leaving our stories for other people to tell, they would rather come to us to learn from us.
Yes.
And not them learning to tell our own stories. So that's
it should be. Okay. That's very interesting. And I really appreciate that you're doing that. Now, having been in that space for about 6 years now, would you say that journalism and the media has been able to do any form of improvement? Has it been able to make any form of improvement in what the fashion arts industry used to be? I mean, take your mind back to when you got into journalism and the kind of fashion events, the kind of arts events that you see back then and what is obtainable now. Do you think that the media has been able to do anything to help that particular sector?
I'm not proud to say this, but in Nigeria, I would say no.
Wow. Please tell us more.
So let me give you an example.
Okay.
Let's say there is an event. Let's use the one that everyone now knows, Ojude Oba, that
Okay.
just ended. If I want to know anything about Ojude Oba, normally I would Google, and then I'm supposed to see previous reports that have been done on Ojude Oba, or even present reports that have been done on Ojude Oba.
So there are not so many of that.
You might not find
Wow.
many of it. And even if you find, you'll see picture stories more. You'll see more pictures. You won't even see anything. Do you know that there are other things like, I don't know if the word ritual is right to use in this, but Ojude Oba is not a one-day thing.
Of course.
It's like a week-long event. And the other things that they do long before that. Why do they ride that horse? We just see people on horses and then we just carry, this picture is very fine. And we leave it there.
Okay.
There is really no story behind it. So if I want to find anything about Ojude Oba, I will not go and look for it. I will not even go to any media. I will not even search any media organization.
Because you might not even find.
So what I would do is I would rather maybe look for someone that is from that state and see I can relate to the person, or maybe somebody that has been attending. I will even look for a photographer because the person has been there from beginning to the end.
Okay, so I see what I hear you. Now this makes me remember something I had seen on Twitter. I think that's X now. And this guy is a photographer. He would always go to capture moments at Ojude Oba. And I saw, just concluded when he was saying something about how he has been in Ijebu-Ode for days. And I could not really understand why he had to be in Ijebu-Ode for days. Meanwhile, the event is just tomorrow. You're talking about, okay,
Exactly.
you're talking today, the event is tomorrow. Why have you been in Ijebu-Ode for days?
Imagine if it is a story that has been told, if the media has been there, just imagine a TV station has been there all along to tell you, to take you through all of this. But I don't know if I should say these people wait to be called. My editor will tell me, you don't wait for them to call, you look for it. Go and look for it. If it is worth reporting, then you report it.
Okay. How do you think that the Ogas, let's address them. What do you think that they should do, or how do you think that they can come in so that these stories can be told?
So I would say first they should give listening ears, and another thing is you have to show them why you're doing this. As an entertainment journalist, when I started, I love pageantry. I mention it again. So when I started reporting pageantry for my organization, then what we do is not even. If I tell you that I reported pageantry for this organization, you ask me how was I investigating the pageants or stuff like that. Do you understand? But I gave them reason as to why I should report pageants stories.
Okay.
So I started, at first, my editor even told me that when she brought this at first, and she mentioned that she didn't want to publish it because what is this? It's very unrelated to what we are doing. But she saw what it did after that, and she was like, okay, more of it. So I reported a lot of any pageant I see Nigerians, they are representing Nigeria anywhere, I will hop on it. And I'm not just giving you a bland, there's always a story. You will not just read it and say, oh, she went to Turkey, or she went to Japan to represent Nigeria here and she won, or she did not win. That you will definitely learn something from it. You're not just, because that was the rule then at where I work. So there is always a backstory. You always see a backstory, and then you even get to see other people that have actually participated in that particular pageant. And that was credible. So number one is the bosses should give listening ears. Another thing is you on the other side, the passionate journalists. Passionate journalists, do something to prove that this is worth reporting. I have just mentioned Ojude Oba, and I want to travel to wherever it is, and I will not just go and tell them that one. They will think this one is looking for, this one just want to tour that city or something. And then you have to tell them why. Make them see reasons. So if they give listening ears, they'll also see reasons with you, and they'll cater for everything.
Okay, that's very interesting. I completely agree with you, but I want you to hold that line of thought, and we will take a very quick break right now, and we will be right back. Don't go anywhere. We're still on a hell of a podcast. So, Itoro,
Yes.
I'm coming back to you. She had so much to say, meanwhile, behind. I just want her to, and her thought process is very beautiful. It's a very, you need to hear her speak with so much passion. I want her to bring that passion now, bring you back to the pod. So, you know how you were saying, off while we were on break, you were saying that I asked initially how we can influence the orgas to make available fundings or what things that people need to actually go out there and give good reportage on culture and all of that. And over the break, you were saying something about how you as a culture journalist can actually put yourself out there and show doings that would actually make them want to. So I want you to just share that thought process. So if your organization has to give you something or they have to make funds available, share what you said on how you must do something to get something. Please just share that thought process.
Exactly. I would say you should give them reasons not to say no.
Okay.
So let me start like this. Before you patronize anybody, before you do anything with anybody, you want to see what the person has done before. Yeah. It's the same thing with before someone will hand you a certain amount of money. They know your capability. They know what you can do. So let's say you've been reporting this thing. So someone might ask me, why would you say I've been reporting? How do you even want me to report when I have not even gone there? And I'm like, there is actually a way to do it. Mind you, I am currently independent. So I have thought about different things I can do. So this is from my own thoughts, which can actually work. Because maybe if I was working, I would have been too busy to even think of something like this. But yeah, let's say we want to report Ojide again. And there have been this rave from last year to this year. In fact, I'm not even sure the rave this year was as much as that of last year. But you want to go there. Maybe you want to go there because you really want to see what's going on there, how it is being done. And what you can do, or how you can actually convince, one of the ways, this is a free tip. One of the ways you can actually convince your boss or anybody to sponsor you is by working on Ojideoba. Now ask me, how do I work on Ojideoba?
Please.
The thing is, you look for people that are from Ijebu-Ode. You don't have to look for those big faces. You don't have to go and look for people that already know.
Because I'm sure that you have a friend that has a friend that is from Ijebu-Ode.
Look for even the smallest photographer that was there. You will not tell me that there are no photographers that maybe don't have that fame yet that went there. They are there. Look for them. Ask them about their experiences. Ask people, what is it really about? Now, you don't have to go anywhere. You are doing this online. You are calling them. You are chatting with them. People will answer. Those that want to answer. Some people will not answer. But you just keep on, because you know what you want. So you know how to push for it. So build up your story from there.
Okay.
And then you now say, Oga, this thing is beyond what you are saying, no. And this is actually what it will do for the organization. If we actually go there to report, if you are live there, just imagine if our organization goes live like stuff like that. Don't buy into it. If they don't buy into it at that time, still you know what you want to achieve for yourself.
I think I resonate with this thing that you're saying, because even from this year, I saw that a lot of brands that were not present last year were actually present this year. I saw that brands sent presenters
to go
there.
there.
They sponsor presenters to go there to represent their brands and everything.
It was because of the rave from last year. Now just imagine after the rave last year, maybe you as a journalist, you had just maybe done an aftermath story, and then this time it is more detailed. It is more detailed. So whatever you're now going to do there is always a reference point. You're now taking us back to the reports you did before, maybe that people didn't really get to see. So people now get to understand, oh, there is more to this thing. There is more to this thing than just the horse riding. There is actually the reason behind the horse riding. There's a reason behind the different colors of outfits they are wearing and stuff like that. Do you understand?
Yes, I get you. So basically what you're saying now is that the media can give more representations to these events by actually not just giving us pictures. You have to tell us the backstory and why that is actually happening in the first place.
Yes.
Very interesting. So I hear you now with this, but beyond this, how do you think that we can improve this? So this is just one. I want to know more on how we can actually improve this this industry. So yes, media organizations can give good representation, let us know more. But beyond that, how do we as a people, and yes, of course, the media, how do we get to improve the African culture, the African fashion, the African arts industry?
So I would say just like how we promote other news like politics, other things that would just interest an average Nigerian, I think we should also put in more effort into promoting our culture the same way. You will see, for example, let's say a TV station, they will tell you this is the time for business news, this is the time for entertainment news, nothing much on that. This is the time for political news. They will really point out all of those ones because people are very interested in what is. I mean, I'm also interested in what is going on in the country. I'm also interested in governance and the rest. I am, but there are other fun things we can actually do. Just something to relax our mind. And if that is me learning about my place, learning about my country or another person's place, but I'm getting it from the media, it's not bad.
I feel like the media should even be the place it gets it from, because ideally, the media is supposed to be your go-to place for information.
Exactly.
But again,
they keep on saying that content creators have taken their jobs and
but because they let content creators take their job.
The funny thing is, content creators don't even do as
most
much
of the
as
stories, most of the things that you
journalist.
see on social media is actually half-baked. And so as a proper media outfit, as a proper media person, it should be your responsibility to give us the adequate information. But well...
And let me even add to that, this is not even about me being a journalist, although being a journalist also influenced that. But if I see something trending, I'm not going to go and read people's comments on it. I am going to go and search it. And I will open different media organizations, one after another, to read on it. Because if I'm just going out with what people said, and I just want to say this, they said, and all of those things, it doesn't make me
professional.
I can't say I'm a journalist.
But you see, with what you said, I feel like there have been I can't think about one off the top of my head right now, but I feel like there have even been situations where media personalities have reported the wrong things. Yes, for instance, social media, you see something on social media, and instead of you to do due diligence and find out, and then they just you just report it without actually confirming if the story is true or not. How do you think we can curb, especially with in this sector where we are talking about right now, in the African culture sector, how do you think that we can curb situations like this? Because trust me, bringing it back to Ojude Oba now, for instance, we're using Ojude Oba as a point of reference for this conversation. Now, somebody can just go because somebody says, oh, this is something about Ojude Oba. You don't confirm, you don't do your research to actually know if that person is right or not. Then you bring it and you publicize it in the media. How do you think that we can curb? So but that is gross. That is you being highly unprofessional, right? But we have people that do that. How do you think we can curb this in trying to make the industry better?
So I am going to say, don't do lazy journalism. So I'm going to answer your question, but let me give you an example. Something that happened to me one time. And again, thanks to my previous place of work.
I mean,
because
print is very serious, so you have to be very serious.
So there was a time I was to do a report. It was about an actor, I think Femi, is it Femi Adebayo or something like that?
Okay.
He won a case over someone used his movie poster to promote another movie on YouTube. And the case has been in court for a very long time. So he eventually won the case.
Okay.
And it was entertainment news. I just wanted to report it. I just checked online, what's going on, check, and I did my report. And the news editor called me and said, "So this your report is not flying." So I said, "Sir, it is trending. Sir, you have to." He said, "We are not sure of this case and everything." He said, "Go and look for the lawyer." How is it my business? He said, "Go and look for the lawyer and ask the lawyer and be sure." I said, where do I start from? What is my business? It was my business. In fact, it was my business. So I said, I saw the law firm was there. I now searched for the law firm on LinkedIn. That was where I found the lawyer. I texted the lawyer. I got the lawyer's contact. I now called the lawyer. I introduced myself and my organization. And the lawyer said, okay, that he will need to confirm if it is information he can release.
Yes, okay.
And he did. And it gave me every detail I wanted. And I did a more in-depth report. I was happy with myself. And it was published. And they said, "Sorry, that's a very good report." And I was like, imagine if I had just... And I even got to understand, or I understood better what even happened than what we were seeing online.
Okay.
So what I would say is, don't do lazy journalism. And then let me also use Ojidoba as an example, another example now. Let's say you want to report and then I just want to do this since it is trending. If I do it, it will also count for me and stuff. And then you decide to take pictures online. Or let's say you even want to do something better and you now say, okay, so Favor served in Ijebu-Ode. If I reach out to Favor, she will know one or two. And Favor, it's true, I attended that in just once with Sha. So maybe this is someone that I just went there to go and take pictures. And I'm like, yeah, so it was fun. Or you will see people that are wearing, I think, I'm like, okay, you think, and you now think that is it, and then you just want to, you think, you put it as, that's lazy. When you just take your time, check, you'll find people that are actually, it doesn't have to be the big names.
I don't even think it has to be big names. I feel like if I want to get a story about Ojudioba, I would want a grandpa that has lived all his life in Ijebu-Ode. I would want somebody to help me reach out to that person.
You get? So, like, look for these people. Get credible. Don't do lazy journalism. Don't do a lazy job. I also write on Substack, and I wanted to write about my friend yesterday, and I was like, this is my friend. This is somebody that I relate with every time, and I feel I know so many. I just wanted to do my own work, and I said, I was writing. I said, Omo, Itoro, this thing that you're writing, before you write something else. I reached out to the girl. She did not know that was what I wanted to do. So I just asked her a few questions, and she answered me, and I used the information. So that's just it. It's not easy as I'm saying it, because I have been in that space where they will tell you, go and call. When I told you I called that law firm, it was not easy. It was not funny. It was not interesting. But I'm glad that I actually did that. So you just have to take your time. You know what you want to achieve. You know what you want to, and you also have to teach other people. What will you teach them? So just don't do lazy journalism. That's just
Do
it.
your due diligence, guys. That's what she's saying. You work in the media, do your due diligence. What's like your vision for what you want culture journalism to be? I mean, is a fairly new sector of the journalism and media space, but what's the vision that you have for that particular segment?
So, of course, in this current age, it is new, but it's not. It's something that has always been there. If you could remember growing up, we watched stuff like Good
Good
Day
Day
Africa,
Africa.
and then if you could see our English textbook, then they'll tell you about New Yam Festival, Egungun Fishing Festival, and all of those things. So, and did you ever think of attending any of these festivals at some point when you were reading? Of course,
Of
you must
course,
have.
yes.
So I want a situation where people get to embrace our culture more. People have a reason to come home. Dirty December is a culture,
It is.
but people are not seeing it as that yet. They just think it's the fun of it. But if a journalist wants to sit down and say, I want to do a detailed report on Dirty December, there are lots of things to write about it. So if you're traveling back, you're coming back for the party, high life or nightlife
Nightlife.
too, and our food. You're not just coming to eat one particular. You're not eating just rice. You're eating bole. You're eating moimo. You're eating eko. You're eating okwa and suya. I told my sister there was one time I watched one of our Nollywood, and the way they branded suya, I said, "Is this still our suya? Is this still our suya?" And I was like, okay. So just imagine someone that is abroad and say, what am I going to see in Nigeria? The people don't want to come to Nigeria again because they believe there is nothing to. There is a lot.
It's a lot, actually.
If you travel to another country, you definitely want to try out their clothes. You want to try out their food. And you're not only, if you come to Nigeria, you're not only eating egusi soup. If anybody that is giving you only egusi soup, the person does not even want you to explore more. We have different. There is black soup. I never knew about Edo people's black soup until my friends were there. I said, really? There is groundnut soup. So it's our culture. There are other things. There are ways we relate that actually work, things that work for us. So it's just for people to realize all of these things and embrace it. That's just what I want. I love Nigeria.
Of course.
I love Nigeria.
Don't we all?
Yeah, so that's just it.
Okay, so this, again, you guys, back to what I said, and it has been very, very insightful. I'm so glad that we had this conversation.
I'm also happy we had
Thank you very much for throwing more lights on. Because I wouldn't think off the top of my head that the media wasn't actually doing enough. But well, you heard it from the media girl herself. So
Before
you
they
guys,
come for me, we are doing a lot.
There's nobody coming for you. It's just more of us saying the media should represent us more, and beyond representing us more, represent us well. And we'll be very grateful for that. In fact, we're very grateful already. Prior to you doing that, we're already very grateful. So thank you very much, media guys. So, Itoro,
Yes.
when you are no media journalist, when you are no being a culture journalist, I know that you're being a pageant queen. You're being a face model. Tell us about that. Tell us about your life
As a model.
as a model and a pageant queen.
Yeah, modeling is, I think, another very aspect of me. Although I try to infuse it into what I do. So I started modeling in 2018.
Okay.
And it was not accepted at first. When I told my mom I wanted to go into modeling, my mom said, "What is that?" So it was even an agency I signed with then. I was signing to. The owner of the agency was just starting something. So he actually gave me a full contract, which I paid. Mommy, I paid money for that contract for more. And I was like, oh, I can't feel this yet. I have to show it to my mom. So I took it to my mom. From the day I said, Mommy, I want to become a model. And I showed her. My mother said, go and return it. You're not doing anything
wow.
like that. And I said, no. I returned. I said, my mom is not going to allow me. But we had like few classes before then.
Okay.
And in school. So everything he taught me then, I was always like, it was still the catwalk part of it. So I was just practicing. I was just practicing on my own when I was just alone. You will see me, I was always walking. You will see me alone most of the time. Not because I don't want to work with anybody, but it was just because I was practicing something by myself. And not until 2020 during the lockdown, I know I've always wanted to be like Agbani Darego someday, yeah. So that was when my interest in pageantry came. I saw this pageant on Facebook then, and I applied. I did not tell anybody at all because of what happened. I didn't want what happened in 1900 to repeat itself. So I did not tell anybody. I registered. I had gone far. They were doing, this social media competition where you post your picture. I even took pictures. I didn't tell anybody. I was just quiet. My sister now saw my pictures on Facebook. I was not like,
what's going on?
Yeah, competing at a pageant. I said, hey, yes, yes, correct. She said, so why didn't you tell us? Nothing. They took it on their head. And that was just it. My mother that didn't like it. She took me to the market and said, what do you want to wear? She was on that body clothes for me and everything. So that was when the support started coming. And then after a while, I stopped because I was busy doing other things, feeding my other passion. And then last year, 2024, I competed at Miss Nigeria. Very beautiful. I don't know, another beautiful phase of my life. Very beautiful opportunity. I'm grateful for.
On this podcast, we don't bring anyhow so, people. See, Miss Nigeria contestant.
Of course. I didn't win, but I finished as a top 20 finalist. And it was
nice.
I'm very grateful for that experience and opportunity as well. And
do you think if given the opportunity, you would do it again?
Most likely. Yeah, whatever I answer now will be used against me sooner or later. So I cannot give a definite answer to that. But one of the things, again, is whenever I'm doubting myself, my friend will tell me, there are many people registered for Miss Nigeria, but they found you was it.
Yes.
And they picked you.
Please.
So please. And so that was just it. And I love it. And now I'm even doing more of fashion modeling, and I want to move into commercial modeling. I think modeling is also another aspect where you get to tell stories.
Yes,
different ways. So that's just what I want to do.
Oh, okay. That's very interesting. A woman that wears so many hats, right? Again, this has been a very fun conversation. But I want us to do something very quickly before we round this up. I call it fast fire questions. It's just us getting to know you more. I don't even want you to think about it.
Okay.
You just give me your answers. So, and some probably you have answered in while we're talking, but yes, let's still do it. Print or broadcast journalism?
Both. Broadcast. Broadcast.
Okay. Fashion show or arts exhibition?
Fashion show.
Why?
Arts exhibition. Sorry.
You guys. Pick a struggle.
I like both.
Pick a struggle already.
Art exhibition.
Journalism or modeling? Think about it.
Journalism.
Why? I mean,
I love to be a journalist.
Okay, that's cool.
I also love to be a model, though.
Okay, and
but I love to be a journalist.
It's absolutely fine to do both, actually. Movie dates or dinner dates?
Dinner dates.
Nigerians, you guys love food.
Because I will sleep.
Do you like food?
I will sleep.
Okay, what's your favorite place to travel to?
So many places, but let's first go to Thailand.
Okay, I like that. The most amazing culture events you've covered?
This one I have to think.
I'm going to have an issue with her because if she doesn't give me the answer,
so this one is going to be African Bridal Show, the second edition. It was interesting.
You guys,
It was interesting.
if she had given me another answer, you see, we would have had it. We would have fought
It
here
was
now.
The outfits were. See, people are sleeping on African fashion.
Thank you. But we don't like to make noise. Yeah, you need to watch this space a lot because so much more is coming from the African fashion our space. Okay, so the last one, who, as a journalist, who is your most respected journalist of all time?
I look up to a lot of persons, but I'm just going to mention two people. I like it when I deal with people I have related with more. I mean, I love other big names and stuff, but people I can relate to more, and it's going to be two beautiful women in my life. Both of them, but the same. Victoria Bamas, my former editor rather, and also Victoria Ijoma Okpara. Yeah, Ijoma Okpara, we call her Victoria. Ijoma Okpara, she was also my former colleague. They were the ones that held my hands and said, "See this journalism, you will do it well."
Okay.
Yeah.
So shout out to these two,
Victoria Bamas and Ijoma Okpara.
Shout out to you, ladies. Thank you so much, Itoro. I absolutely enjoyed this episode. I hope that you guys also enjoyed it as much as we did. Feel free to subscribe to our channel. Feel free to share this with, you see, if you have a friend that works in the media, share this with them because we need a lot of media representation actually in the African culture, fashion, arts, music, everything, lifestyle in the African sector. We really need a lot of media publicity in the good light, of course, on it. So please feel free to share this episode with your friends. And I will always say, with your enemies. Yes, you guys don't like each other, but it doesn't really matter to us.
To help them.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter to us. So please just share it and leave us your comments. You can ask us your questions. If there's something that you want us to talk about that is in relations with our niche, please make sure that you reach out to us. And we hope to catch you on the next episode of the pod. And this has been a hell of a pod.